Hello, this is Ken Cunin. Welcome to FastingRipped50, a soulful approach to living better. Well, this is the first video from this channel, so I suppose now would be a good time to tell you a little bit about what FastingRipped50 entails. And before I do so, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, the San Fernando Valley, to be specific, where I spent the first 32 years of my life. I have a degree in East Asian Studies, a background in martial arts, in many sports. Human performance, both in body and in mindset, has been a central focus for many years of my life. Additionally, I also have a music background. I have performed as a singer-songwriter. I've run a small record label. I even currently host another channel on YouTube called On Song International that features original music by original bands. All right. 18 years ago, I moved from Los Angeles to Brisbane, Australia. I also happen to have started Revolution Fitness, where we are today. We've moved around a few times, and in this room, I've trained thousands of people through the years. And I'm a very wealthy man. I'm wealthy in not necessarily in what's in my bank account or my pocket, but I'm wealthy in I get to wake up every day and I get to do things that I'm very passionate about. So I get to create health in different people's bodies and what their aspirations and their dreams are, and hopefully bring them in line to where they can achieve what some of their goals are. All right. When we look at FastingRipped50, the first word that obviously jumps out is fasting. Yep, I do a lot of intermittent fasting. I have the last 15 months. Many of my clients the same. I want to make a little bit of a disclaimer right here, right now. Fasting is just a tool that we have in the box. It's not necessarily the be-all, end-all for everyone. It's about having specific goals and whether fasting in and of itself will help you achieve your goal. When it comes to nutrition, I've really hit all ends of the spectrum. I was a vegetarian when I was in university. I did that for 4 or 5 years. For many years, I ate the standard bodybuilding diet, which was eating 6 or 7 times a day, lots of carbohydrates. I spent a 5-month period of time recently in a ketogenic world and had great results with that. When I think about nutrition, I think about a couple different things. I think about what will help us for performance-wise, what will give us good energy, what will decrease our incidence of disease, make sure that we age well. All of those different components we're going to have a good look at. And we're going to have a good look at using science to explain that. That said, this will not be an overtly scientific channel. While I'm a huge fan of science, with this channel, it's going to be about my experience, and it's also going to be about your experience because I'm going to invite you to share your experiences. This is a community. It's also going to be about the experience of what I've witnessed training people for 2-3 decades right now. Where are we? We're in a gym. So needless to say, when we look at FastingRipped50, it's also going to be a lot about strength training. One thing that's consistent with a lot of great scientists and physicians, modern physicians that look at how the body performs, they will say 2 things commonly. You want to be healthy, you want to live better, you want to live stronger, you got to lift weights, and you got to make sure that you don't put crap down your throat. So we're going to harp on those different components. The gym is the place that you can shape your body. What you put in your body will also determine not only your performance, but how big your body is. And that gets us to the next term, FastingRipped50. Ripped, it's not about, being a cover model. I'm not interested in that. But what ripped indicates is that you are lean. And when you are lean, you know what's going to happen? You will live better. Your chance of disease will decrease. You will have less inflammation. You will have less incidence of everything from diabetes to cancer to Alzheimer's, etc. Inflammation is what is the 21st century killer. So we're going to look at how we can decrease the probability of those things impacting your life. And lastly, we're going to look at mindset, because at the end of the day, you live between your left ear and your right ear. So hopefully we can give you some different wisdom hacks to get through your day. And look, every day that you wake up, we got the opportunity to be happy and going, all right, what are we going to accomplish today that's fun and exciting? How do we grow as human beings? Or we can wake up and be absolutely full of anxiety and stress and have our cortisol levels through the roof, gain fat, and basically age poorly and quickly. So remember, we're an amazing chemistry set where our hormones are always in play to either improve our day and our overall health or to do the opposite and be destructive. So these are the things that we're looking at in Fasting Ripped 50. And last disclaimer is, despite the fact that I happen to be 50, and when I was writing a book, it made a lot of sense that at 50 I felt fitter and better than I ever had in my life. But that said, I train people that are 15 all the way to 85. So it is not just about middle-aged blokes. I probably actually train more women than I train men. All these things we're going to encompass in Fasting Ripped 50, this channel. I invite you right now to make sure that you are, again, part of that community, that you subscribe to the channel, that you ring the bell so you're notified of what is going on. And again, it's about storytelling. I am a huge fan of autobiographies. I believe that I have an interesting story, and I know that you have an interesting story as well, in Mrs. Jones and Mr. Smith across the street, that we can, as a whole, we can learn from each other and become fitter and have a soulful, excellent understanding of what it takes to be happy, healthy, and to live a longer and better life. All right, can't wait to take the journey with you. Take care.